rest of the committee members want to see it? I have that, so I'll send that file to you, so you don't have to redo that. I was going to ask Cordelia to come in and complete it out normally, but she's about ready to do September's. She'll do that at the same time instead of paying additional funds to do that. I didn't think it was necessary since we have, I thought this was enough pertinent information to be able to get it out as soon as possible to everybody. If you have any questions, let me know. And that's what you were hoping for, is that correct, Jim? All right. Let me go through my list here real quick if you don't mind. Talk about that one.
Small comment on the financial, is that okay?
Yeah, please.
From my understanding, the reason that this wasn't ready at the last meeting is because receipt was not turned in.
Correct.
Do we now have a policy in place that that will not happen again?
I believe we have one for the new handbook, don't we? There's something over there, I can't remember where it's at.
There was a directive issued by the mayor that receipts were going to be required before payment, and that was sent out to department heads with a sign-off sheet for them to return to the mayor.
So we wouldn't pay the bill, and they would be held liable. I think with...
Until they turn in the receipt, they would pay it toward out of pocket.
And by the way, the receipts are on the way for these. I was able to contact, and again, I'll state it publicly again, there was never a concern about the charges for these. It was just, we have to have paper documentation to follow up any expense, by all means. And I never want anybody implying or thinking the opposite. These were legitimate charges, 100%. However, I wasn't able to get a hold of the company. It took a little while, but we were able to get the receipts. They're being sent to us. So, and that's another reason why we went ahead and got the financials put out as well. If that helps.
Sure.
Other questions or comments? Excuse me. Last council meeting, someone from the River Ridge PTO came, but unfortunately got here really late and I wasn't able to acknowledge him. A Mr. Reynolds. And I think it started with a letter to Jim, if you recall it. I'm just going to read the letter that I sent. I'm pretty sure I sent this to everybody, if I'm not mistaken, and told you we'd talk about it tonight. We don't have to take action or anything like that, but I just wanted to, again, round table it. I am the treasurer of the River Ridge Elementary Parent-Teacher Organization, and we are in our first wave of fundraising for 2013-14 school year. The city has been an important partner in the process in the past, from donations to an annual fall festival last October, or this year for October, and I guess it's coming up, isn't it? Next, yeah. Is what he's stating. To last year's generous support of the River Ridge Family Resource Center. My purpose in this communication is to set the topic on council's meeting agenda in the near future. The PTO donation had been $500 per year for several years, and then instead of the festival donation in 2013 and 12-13, the city donated $1,500 to the resource center up at River Ridge. Please advise how I can be placed on the agenda. So basically the letter as well as the other information that Mr. Reynolds had sent, and if he comes to the next council meeting, hopefully we can get him on the agenda, but just as an FYI, the PTO is asking for a $500 donation, which will go towards the city's, the school's ability to enrich the school's mission with technology, supplies, and other additional programs for the children, is what he put in his letter. Again, I'm not looking necessarily for an answer or anything else. This is really just a chance to throw it out there, because we had it on last month's and I didn't get it until after the fact, unfortunately.
I'll throw my 2 cents in, only because I have a personal affinity to the school. A lot of people don't really know that because that school is in Villa Hills, Kentucky, a lot of people make the assumption that that entire school population are from affluent families, and that nothing could be further from the truth. River Ridge has one of the largest free and reduced lunch populations in the county, and it seems strange where they sit, but a significant number of the children in that school were on the free and reduced lunch program. That obviously is an income-based program, a need-based program. There are a lot of families that are financially not well off that have their children in River Ridge. Their PTO does a fantastic job of funding many things for those kids up there, funding technology, doing things that the school budget won't normally allow for. The festival is their single largest fundraiser of the year. They do some other things throughout the course of the year. It sounds like that they're dedicating these funds to technology, and as you know, it's tougher every year in the public school budget to get those funds. If it were, the Family Resource Center that we donated to last year is a special unit that operates inside River Ridge. It's actually funded by the state of Kentucky, and they're on an annual grant, so it could go at any time. That particular part of the school provides school supplies, personal items, hygiene items, backpacks, shoes, underwear, socks to these children, these families that can't afford it, to send their kids to school in a new pair of shoes or a pair of socks, or even, God forbid, even a pair of underwear. These people are doing just wonderful things for our community, but I don't think a lot of people really know that just because of where they sit. And, I personally would support us making a donation and would ask that you would at least consider it. And thank you.
And again, we were not looking for a decision per se, but again, it's a roundtable, thoughts, comments, or whatever.
I would be happy to make a personal donation, but I will not be a party of the city, giving the city money to the PTO.
We are at the Haunted Trails, they're going to be taking up donations. Now, I'm concerned about that. They're saying a cash donation and/or a personal hygiene product to be given to River Ridge Resource Center. So I did email Joe and say I was not in favor of the cash donation just because I didn't know who was going to be handling the money and how it was really going to get somewhere. So,
In the past, if there was ever donations, my memory's correct, the Resource Center actually provided people to help accept the donations, either the, personal hygiene items, as well as they usually put a box or a bucket or whatever, and I think they actually take care of it all. Now, I don't know if that's gonna happen again,
well, I think the cash part of it,
is what makes you nervous, yeah. I can understand.
if it's gonna be donated, I'd like to see it get to where it's supposed to go. So, I think the $500 is less than the 15 or 13 or whatever they gave last year, but I don't know. I guess it's a little pieces trying to save the world. 500.
I know last year that had to be done via budget ordinance last year.
Right. Now,
Are there discretionary funds if that's something we decide to pursue that would not require
I
that?
can assure you, $500 in our budget wouldn't break us, but I'll throw my 2 cents in as a group. I struggle to give them money out of the city's funds. I can assure you that personally, I believe in everything they're doing. My wife and I have donated many times. I can tell you that 2 years ago, we took 1,500 spiral notebooks up to the Resource Center because we know that they struggle. And when you say Villa Hills, unfortunately, it comes way down, just as you're pointing out. I struggle with giving the city money. However, I'll step out of the box, and this is not to be taken the wrong way, but I would offer a generous, out of the 500, I'll kick in $200 out of mine in my wife's pocket, as long as I don't get too evil-eyed back there. She's always very generous, as well as I am. But I will commit to my wife and I giving up at least 200 towards that 500. And if anybody else would be interested, that would be great. That's my offer, okay? Because I agree with Rod. I think it's unbelievable, and I don't think anybody would not agree with what they do up there. But I'm going to lean on the gym side as well. I struggle with giving the taxpayer dollars to that. As they talked about last year, some of the concerns that people had with donating city money towards the PTO, and this might come across wrong, and I apologize, it's not supposed to, but the PTO could just go out and buy gift cards for anything that they want because they're doing a good job.